just came out of my house to find somebody had left a nice little present on the flower box beside the door.
What did they leave?
Little note says they just want to watch the world burn.
Think it was Kellogg's?
Maybe. I got a letter back home from Liberty. A little Christmas card from a family member. I gave it off to Hill. She's opening a case.
You and Juniper are okay?
Yeah, we're great, actually. You missed the proposal, but I couldn't pick a better time.
Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't there for it.
It's okay. Fireworks were going off, and I thought that would be perfect.
I don't blame you for not waiting. I don't.
Yeah, right? And Mia gave me shit already. I was like, oh god, Mara's gonna kick my ass too.
That's okay. As long as I'm there for the wedding, that's the important thing, you know?
I think it's gonna be hard to not have you in the wedding and have you there. Just saying. It's gonna be kind of tough. Yeah. This is surprised it's still here, actually, even in the winter. Would have thought by now the vineyard would insist that we move it.
You would think, but I guess not. You know, I wasn't kidding when I said I hadn't been here since Memorial itself.
I think I came here once for a case, but I didn't step up here. Well, I didn't go back to where she died until last night. I had to give Juniper a pep talk. A lot's happened. Rico's back in town.
And Nicole texted me about that.
Bonnet got hurt, and he went into ICU, and there was 0 casework done on it. So...
You okay?
He's resting. He's not awake. He's on ventilators right now. Rico called all on-duty troopers to a meeting, and both Juniper and I were around. We weren't on duty, but we went to it. He split the room into 2 teams. One team was to implicate Leonova. The other team was to implicate Missy Gray, because it was at Missy and Leah's house. There was a bomb that exploded. Somehow Matt was choked as well.
What? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So team 1 was Seth and Juniper co-leading it. Trying to actually implicate Missy. Leah. My team was me leading it, trying to implicate Missy. And I don't think Seth and Juniper understand that sometimes you need somebody that controls everything and has final say. When you have 2 people doing it, it's 2 sets of opinions. It's 2 ideas, 2 thoughts, and it's not often going to go the way you want. And neither one of them are strong field leaders when you get down to it. Seth's too procedural and Juniper's too green. And they ended up not doing very well in their assignment, and Juniper bit back at the colonel.
Uh-oh.
And he told her to shut the fuck up and know your role.
Oh, jeez.
Well, it's not all for that. Actually, a positive comes from this. Afterwards, once the colonel dismissed their team, told them to get back on patrol, he talked to her privately, and he was able to determine that she's not processed grief. That she's trying to pull the weight of the world on her shoulders without talking to people. Now, she talks to me, but she doesn't express beyond us what's going on. So Tony and I had a talk about it. Like, look, Tarts, I know this. I lived this life, and we can't lose her like we almost lost me. So I took a few hours off last night. I drove around with her, and we chatted. I said, look, I understand that you doubt yourself. I get that. I doubt myself. Our doubts herself. But what makes you and me, Mara, a little different is that we rely on others on the team to be able to help us. She doesn't, right? She tries to take it all in stride. When she doesn't know what's going on, she doesn't ask questions. And she should. We wouldn't be where we are today if we didn't ask questions.
God, I wouldn't be even close.
Yep. Same. We wouldn't, we wouldn't be able to help others if we didn't listen to them either. And it's a nasty habit of shutting down other people's opinions. I told her, like, you need to listen more. You ask for help once in a while, listen to the people even below you, because they have insight that you don't. It's this fundamental reason why the highest on scene isn't the person that has scene control, it's the first one there, because they have all that detail. So I took her to where Eleanor died. I said, look, the last time I came to this spot was the day after, and I called you and Hannah back. And I said, I need this scene processed to my standards, not yours. Because as the closest person on the force to her in command position, other than Rico, I need to make sure that this job is done right. And I demanded that they do better. I found little tiny minutiae that they needed to see, and bag up, and take in. And then at that time, Anna outranked me. But she listened. Not because I was mad, not because I was hurt, but because I had sound advice. But Juniper loved Sawyer. Absolutely fucking adored her. She absolutely loved Lola. And those two, like the rest of the force, hit like a ton of bricks. She hasn't had a chance to breathe, because since that night, it has been non-stop. We have gone, God, I think I've put in 20-ish hours of work, and I've done 2 robberies in that entire time. Because I've just been so busy. She's been with me for most of them. Except for I know how to unburden myself and let myself breathe. And lean on my friends. But I've been tested this past week. It has been a struggle.
Yeah.
So there you go. You got caught up on the news of Rico coming back and kicking ass. He was so mad.
Well, that solves one of my fears that I talked to you about.
Yep. Yeah. I actually was like, oh, I guess Mara talked to him already?
No, I haven't. I didn't know.
Oh.
I didn't know until right before you got here when Nicole texted me. She had sent me a picture of him. I was like, Rico?
Mia didn't even know he was coming back on duty. She lit up like a Christmas tree.
I'm sure she's missed him.
She has. But of course, Rico coming back means the Kellogg's had to make a statement. And a statement they made. They took and hurt Mia.
Oh.
She's okay. She's tough as fuck. But, yeah.
Why was he mad?
Because he believes that Justin ran away and left the department in shambles that he now has to fix. I didn't have the heart to tell him that all he's doing is deflecting because he ran away. That's what Rico does, by the way. Don't take it personally. He deflects his personal pain onto others.
I should have done more and wouldn't be so in disarray, you know?
Here's the thing, right? Like, we can scream until we're blue in the face that X, Y, and Z has to happen. But it takes the initiative of people who are listening to us to do it. We get a lot of bobbleheads just nodding, and we tell the troops, we got to get these things done. And then it just doesn't happen. And then we personally shoulder that responsibility to ensure it gets done, because not us, then it never does. We have some troopers that are very good at making sure the simple stuff is handled. Opening up a case. Like, there's tons and tons of cases right now. So many cases.
Maybe it was too early for me. You know? I'd only just been brought back in as a lieutenant not long before we lost Eleanor. I skipped a lot of ranks to get here. After what I did, I don't know if that was the right decision.
That's how Juniper feels, by the way. He's exactly that. She wanted to drop down to a lieutenant's position, and I told her anybody who willingly drops rank is doomed to never be able to get back up. I think you've done well, Mara. You've rolled with the punches. Are you perfect? No. I perfect? Fuck no. Was Strickland perfect? Nope. No, she was not. She was a hard-headed pain in the ass. She'd do it. Sometimes she embraced it. Sometimes she didn't.
She showed me mercy when I didn't think anyone would. When I didn't think I deserved it.
She had a big heart.
You know, when I told her about everything that John and I did, one of the first things that she asked me, what do you think should happen? I was honest. I am fully prepared and ready to lose my job. After all, why should I keep it? Oh, I tarnished the oath that I took, and I destroyed the trust anyone in the city would have in me. You're hiding that secret for so long. She said no. She knew punishment had to happen. She didn't think that was... thought that was too much.
Yeah.
And then, you know, at the beginning of the procession, I was riding with Colonel Rico and Bright and John, and you know, he offered me Lieutenant Colonel. He promoted me. And I was thrilled, you know? I think that he had that kind of trust in me. I can't help but still doubt myself.
You know why he offered you that position?
Why?
Because you have the ability in yourself to look at the landscape. And if Rico is out of check, you will step up and say, I don't agree.
See, I tried to do that with Justin and I had it all wrong. I had it all wrong.
Not as wrong as Mia and Juniper did. They really fucked up. Oh, I don't think you know about that yet, do you? Fuck.
72-hour hold?
Yeah, that.
Was mentioned briefly. I don't know much about details.
Laura asked if there was a way to impose a 72-hour medical hold on Justin under the pretense that he is a danger to himself and others. However, what they lacked to do, it completely failed at, is transparency, 1, informed choice, 2, and 3, most important when it comes to a 72-hour hold, beyond a reasonable doubt that he is incapable of protecting himself and others from his own actions. Where do I start? This is why I'm debating actually going after the medical team that failed, because it fails with them first. There were, I want to say 6. My notes. Yes, there were 6. For 6 instances of trauma that Justin incurred. The first on November 20th. That one was logged. The box got that all written down. Sorry, there were 5 instances with the 6th additional question. And then there was one on the 30th, the 18th, the 20th, 21st, and 24th. Those ones were not logged. Not a single medical record for Justin's condition, what had happened to him, nothing. Here's the weird thing. At no point in time in any of his medical records is the word aphasia listed.
How? I was there. I was literally there with Bryce and Lola and Sawyer and Justin when, after the courthouse thing, and he went to go, you know, prove to us that he was okay, and that's when the doctors told us what it was.
Which doctor told you?
I think it was Ryder.
Okay. So, Pillbox as a team knows. But nobody took the time to get this documented, to get him properly treated, and give him proper information about what is happening to him. So when Laura asked if there's a way to get a 72-hour hold on him, whatever reason, Mia and Juniper got it in their heads to do it as a procedural thing from a legal standpoint. They forgot to ask Justin any questions. They attacked the problem with a hammer rather than a scalpel. They focused on language like we want, I want, you need.
Nobody asked what he wanted.
Nobody asked him, hey Justin, what can I do for you? Until it was too late. Bryce was making headway, but he was overshadowed.
Bryce helped me realize where I went wrong, you know?
Yeah.
He helped me realize that, and I remember asking Justin at the hospital after we learned about the aphasia. I was like, what do you need me to do? What do you need from me? He just said to lead.
Yeah. Bryce was making headway with him. Slowly. It was cryptic. It was tough. But by the time Bryce and I both tackled this problem, it was too late. I didn't see it either. The bumblebee tags being left around BPD and MRPD. Those counted for something, and I should have noticed it. You see those bumblebee drawings?
Yeah, a couple times.
Did you ever pick up on who it was?
No.
Me either. The only way I put it together was by absolute chance. I went up to the roof of VPD, so I wanted to clear my head. And when I turned around, I saw in the doorway, drawn in chalk, celery stalk, bunny ears, and a bumblebee. And it clicked. And it ripped me apart when it clicked. And then the bumblebee climbed the ladder, stood in front of me, and we talked.
Who was it?
April. Couldn't see it for the life of me. And yet, you'd think I should. Somebody who is so deeply ingrained into the Vagos, who suddenly turns her entire life around and has this deep connection, this deep friendship with Justin, and I couldn't fucking see it. She had found a way to talk to Justin in his own language. That she could have been the light in that darkness for him. We talked for a good 30, 40 minutes. She wept. She said to me that she wanted to change everything about all the mistakes she had ever made. She wanted to do right in her life, no longer do wrong. And I knew she was telling me is that she was in danger. That if she chose to follow the path which she wanted. She told me that she had stopped herself from telling Justin how she had truly felt because she was scared
For the Vagos.
because of the Vagos. Because of one Vago.
Happy?
Oh, yeah. And I told her, you need to follow your heart. You need to do what you believe is right. And damn the consequences.
I think that's something that a lot of people forgotten or just don't know.
Yeah.
How truly dangerous Happy is.
Oh, oh, there's more. There is so much more. Soon after, Bryce and I were driving around. We went off duty. We looked for Justin. We were trying to find him. Laura kicked him out. She didn't know how to deal with anything. She was incapable of dealing with Justin, the burden thereof. I don't blame her. Not one bit. Who honestly is truly trained to deal with that kind of stuff. In doing so, because of that 72-hour hold and how she was instrumental in it, he was understandably feeling betrayed. I let Bryce work while we drove around to different places. We looked for him. And eventually we received information, a photograph of where Kinley Dumas died. Beside the well, that's a movie theater. We had Laura with us for a little bit during this because I needed perspective from her to understand how far this goes. And all I got was Laura talking about herself. So I let her vent, but it was mostly about Laura. But I took her with us to the well the fountain. And when we got there was a sleeping bag. And then there was little chalk drawings again, celery stalk, bunny ears, a bumblebee, words that wrote, Laura, why you?
Does she know about that?
She was standing right beside me. I felt my heart just sink because I shouldn't have taken her, but she needed to see it. She needed to understand that he felt betrayed because up until then, it was all about her. I don't regret that decision after all, but he texted me. He thanked me for coming over. That was the first time I felt hopeless this weekend. We got word that they're gone. She packed up things, took him. I believe they've left the state. I think they went back to Vice. I don't know though. I've tried to reach out to April to find out what's going on, but I think they've gone for now. I think April followed my advice. Led him home. My words were, you will be the light, not darkness, that leads him home.
Hopefully it's not so cold there.
The next day was the second time I felt hopeless. Sean Gray reached out to us. You know who he is?
Vaguely.
The member of the Vagos.
Okay.
He was looking for me specifically. I called him, and he sounded distraught. He sounded scared. He told me to do everything in my power to protect them. I asked him why and who. He told me April and Justin. Because she trusts you, Tarts. I don't know why, but she trusts you. I asked what's going on, and he told me he's going to try and put a stop to it because he'll not stop. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. But when the phone disconnected, I knew that I was talking to a dead man walking. I opened a case so fast. The fastest I've ever typed because I was scared there were going to be threats against Justin and April should they come back from the Vagos. 20 minutes later, Sean Gray was dead.
Son of a bitch.
Ollie stood over him.
Ollie?
And he was beside himself. He didn't know what to do. He was scared.
Ollie did it?
Ollie killed Sean. I think he killed Sean because Sean told Ollie he was going to kill Happy. I think that's what brought this down. I think Ollie got scared because Ollie only cares about his family. And that includes Happy. And the reason I think that is because when I was in the morgue, Caitlin and I were talking. And two of the Vagos came in. One of them being Carlos. And he walked up to me and said, "He's coming." Texted Juniper and I said to her, I believe that the people in the morgue with me right now mean to shoot. Kill Happy. Keep the troops away because I do not want them in the line of fire. I managed to get out of there without him seeing me because all of the Vagos that were there and the Vipers who were there all stood around me talking. Each one of them. Devlin Valentine too. And they knew that in that moment that I wasn't there as a cop. There was Toby. And I knew damn well that it's Happy that's going to call the shot to try and take April out.
So dangerous.
And then he's a monster.
Did I ever tell you what happened July last year?
I don't think so, no.
Only 4 of us on duty at the time. They had it out for Gary Peterson. The Vagos did. God, I don't even really remember why they felt disrespected by him. I don't know. They kidnapped him. You know, I remember Gary just was able to call it a 1013. He was getting gas. And Augsburg and I, we just jumped in his cruiser together. We were over near, like, Fudge Lane area, and we went over to where his tracker was, which was the Strawberry gas station, and we saw 2 yellow SUVs leaving. And I remember I had gotten out and I was on foot and Augsburg was still in the car, and I saw them tear off from the gas station and Gary's car was still there. I told Augsburg which way they were going, and I just jumped in Gary's cruiser and tried to follow them, and I followed them to the foundry. They brought him inside, and I remember I climbed up the ladder on, like the southern side, very, very top, like roof entrance. I was able to make my way in, but then Dallas and Augsburg, they got gunned down outside. Before they could even get close. I was up in that top rafter, just inside, and I could see 6 or 7 Vagos, and they had Gary on his knees right in the center. Happy was there. And El Sueño. I was too far away to hear what was being said, but all I could do was just watch because there was no one else. It was just me. And I wanted so badly to try to defend him, but I knew if I moved, if I made a sound, if I tried to fire at them, that we'd both be dead. So all I could do was watch as they gunned him down. There was no one. Even John was staged in the area, and they ran into him as they were running away, and they took his radio, and there was no one on the radio, and I was calling desperately, and I was so alone. And a couple months later, Happy actually kills Gary right in front of me. I was too late again. I don't want that to happen to April.
Me either. I talked with Happy, or not Happy. I wouldn't talk to Happy if you fucking paid me. I talked with Ollie. I'm stunned his lawyer let me do it alone, to be honest with you. But we sat in his cell together, across from each other. And I told him point blank that I understand his desire to protect his family. But I get that he is very much his family. He is their guidance that they desperately need. And tried to implore to him, without telling him so much that I know, that the bloodshed and the madness has to stop that day. Because I don't want to have to come after them for April. But they need to resolve the problem that is Happy Rascal. Because he puts them at risk. He does not care about them. He cares about him and him only.
But if you cut off the head of the snake, there's always gonna be another.
It's true. And I'm scared that Ollie would be changed by what he may become. also had to convict Justin Malik and Serena Mariano for attempted first-degree murder yesterday, right in front of mine. They took Duncan and Annalyn O'Doubly hostage from Bolingbrook. And I tried to talk them off the ledge, and I couldn't do it. Shot them in front of me. All because Annalyn O'Doubly, Misty Crown, two others, Joseph Sanchez, and the other one that had the case, had been in a gunfight with the wave, and Chrissy May died. Because Serena didn't ask, any member that was involved in that was punished. She decided to take justice in her own hands and never asked the simple question, what did you do, Tarts? I would have told her. I convicted 4 people on that one homicide. When one of them was willing to take the fall for all of them, I got all of them. Because that's what I do.
Somehow I feel like that still wouldn't have been enough.
I don't think so either, but Serena forced me to shoot them. Add on the multiple times having to go to Bolingbrook and deal with people with weapons. Negotiating a truce with the wave so they could finally get the hell out of prison instead of constantly having to go back and serve extended sentences. Feeling Reeker being Reeker. God love him. He had Laura Norder write up an apology letter this morning in Windings.
John texted me that he was back.
Yeah.
But it didn't sound good.
I don't know. They had a slightly long conversation on the steps of the courthouse this morning. Right about the time that a letter came to members of command staff about Leonova.
What letter?
Addressed to the command staff. Just scribbled a name in there. I'm sorry I didn't get to spend more time with you. The struggles you must have had over the years, and the pain and manipulation. I know you want to go back to what they made you into. I know you see it as your only choice. They are cruel, they are merciless, but you are not that person anymore. Don't be sorry for what's going to happen to me. I do this for all the times you've made me smile. When we were young, all the times when we had nothing at all but each other. I went on my own choice, my choice alone. I'm so proud to see you'd made a life of your own. So happy. See that all you've been through, you still fight. I can hear them coming, bashing on the door. I accept this. I accept this for all the times you helped me when I needed it the most. I owe this to you. I wish things were different. I wish I had more time. I will say hello to Caitlin, who I miss very much. She would be so proud of you now. I'll look after her till you see her see each other next. Don't mourn for me. Be happy as this chance to make up for all the years I never got to say goodbye. to give you that chance of freedom you've never had. They know about Savannah. They know about Missy. They will do everything to break you. Protect what you have. Stay strong. Trust in your friends. They're flying things into the city. Guns, drugs. I don't know the dates. All I can tell you is the flight number. AC 42-D. Trust people. I know the real you. I love you, Jesse. I'll miss. Squiggled out. Signed Danica Foley. A while back, there was a case about a Caitlin Callig. Scrolled on the scene of that was the initial J, last name Callig. Came to find out yesterday. Jesse Callig, Leonova's previous name.
Is it
It's a
really?
past that's catching up to her. Yep. Seems that way.
Everyone's past catches up eventually.
That does. Say that too, because that's what was said in a letter to me. So many overlapping threads.
Yeah.
In all of this, this all stems from the Matt Bonnet in ICU case. That we managed to pull together all this information about Nova's past from all the other cases that kind of just sat there and waited. I took my team, I marshaled them in directions, and I gave them tasks. We painted a tapestry. It's a gigantic mosaic, in fact, of her life. And then she turned in her bars to Bryce.
So she's gone then.
Don't think so. We wouldn't leave Missy. I asked to meet with her, waiting for her to get back to me, because I want to talk to her directly. Because what looks like to me as Leah and Matt being idiots together, as they often are, went too far. And well, yes, she could have faced punitive actions, including charges for obstruction. I don't think it's worth throwing away a career. She made a mistake. Sound familiar?
Only a little.
We've all made mistakes, Mara. Me too.
When I pointed my gun at those greens. Let my emotions get the better of me and shouldn't have.
Yeah. Snap decision between me and you for that. It was either I put my hand on the slide of your pistol or I raised my weapon with you. But both had the same result, that I would stand with you.
I'm glad you did what you did.
Yeah. They've definitely kicked the hornet's nest a few times since being in prison, bragging about what they've done. They're not going to find a lot of compassion when
They'll find none from me.
I'm afraid people will be quick to forget what they've done, though.
It's just kind of how the city is, you know? Chews you up and spits you out, and people tend to not give it a second thought. I think I know what Justin meant when he said that it's cold. It's not just the temperature.
Nope.
It's everything. It's everything.
Yeah, we need to find the people that make us feel warmth, cling to them, and support each other.
Yeah.
And that is exactly how we honor Eleanor.
I think so.
You are the spark that will light a fire, that will show everybody the way, keep them safe, warm. And if you don't think you are that spark. You're a complete person, not a drone, not some sort of procedural mistake, as so many of our troopers seem to be these days. You come up from a past where mistakes were made, questions were asked. You've learned and evolved. You're a far better person than most company I keep.
I just try to be
Then
more
again,
than the worst thing I've ever done.
yeah, amen to that. Should your past ever come back up, try to rear its ugly head, I'll stand beside you.
Thank you.
Welcome. I know you'd do the same for me.
100 times over.
John, on the other hand, fuck John. No, I'm kidding.
Don't worry about
We
him.
got him laughing this weekend rather. We actually saw genuine smiles out of him. Why, he even made a joke at both my and your expense yesterday that took me right off guard.
It's like the old
Oh,
him.
it was lewd as fuck too. We're at a store robbery together, and Freckles was inside, and he's like, "Oh, Tarts, that cunt." And I said, "Yep, I'm the cunt you love. I'm the best cunt." And he said, "Second best cunt." I just looked at him like,
Oh my god.
"Wow, John." And he's like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, all right. I see what you're doing. Attaboy.
Sounds like the old him.
Yeah. But him seeing Reeker today rattled his cage. He was mouthy. He wasn't
Angry.
letting Reeker push him around. Yeah, sounded it that way.
Very angry. More, but he doesn't talk to me about that.
You're you're no kitten when it comes to using your cuffs. Cuff his ass to something. Force him to talk.
I feel like that'd be the wrong way to go about it.
Probably right.
It's like with Justin, you know? I mean, tried to push what I thought was right and what I wanted him to do, but I never bothered to ask what he wanted to do. I don't want to make that mistake again.
Difference between Justin and John. Only so far your husband can run. Or he has to face his wife.
I don't know that.
I hope that's the way it is. I didn't let Juniper run far enough for me to have to worry. Just went at it.
Only push so much, you know.
Right. I tried to get out on patrol with them over this weekend, but it was hell. Try and do it this week. Seems to enjoy talking with me, so I might be able to break in man to man.
Hope so. I feel like
How
he's
little he
just
knows.
hiding something himself from me, and it tears me apart, you know?
Yeah, I know. I don't know how or why people open up to me. Just a broken misfit toy. Made a lot of mistakes along the way and somehow found his way into a command position. But people don't often see me as the commander unless I have to be. Most people relate to me. Toby. Both a good thing and a bad thing. Like you, I'm the sum of many parts. Broken marriage. It saw me grow up with one parent. Went through tragedy at a young age. Found my way to the bottom of a bottle, bottom of a pill bottle if need be. Father didn't know what to do with me. He sent me to my Uncle Pop's. Sent me down to Liberty. Pops paid for me to get clean, sober up, gave me a job at his door. Put me through college, where I met Sybil. Sybil tried to keep me on the straight and narrow. That's so hard. But Pops, once in a while, needed a favor done. Once in a while, he needed muscle. Because I was in debt, I would help. Told Pops I was done. He told me I'm not done until he says I'm done. Funny. Stood guard one day at the Vinewood Bowl. I never in a million years thought I would hear Tarts' den one more time. Came out of Rico's mouth, talking to Crispix. Said, yeah, remember my mom turning tricks at Tarts' den. And the blood in my veins just went ice cold. I realized the connection between my family and them. I hope to hell that I'm invisible. I hoped that they didn't know who I was. Just before Rico left, just before he left. Occasionally, we'd see Crispix popping up in tweets, poking fun at the SASP, catching my attention. And I'd play back and forth, and then he started taking a more vested interest. Mia got scared. She doesn't want to see them come back. And they disappeared again for a little while. Tony coming back and them showing up. I hoped again that I was invisible. And he took and hurt Mia while I was celebrating Christmas. And when I got on duty, I saw the tweets. I called him out, called him a monster. Took the liberty of enjoying my reaction. When I got home, an envelope with the logo of the bar sitting in the mailbox. Handwriting was unmistakably his. Wrote in there that sooner or later, everyone pays their debt. Have a happy Christmas. Love, Pop. Inside that envelope were 3 photos. Looked like different nights of me working the front door. Just off to the side, the man in all red. No idea what he's getting at. Trying to scare me into just paying out what was owed. Or if he's trying to tell me something more. There was a time back when I was just regular old beat cop here, just a trooper. In order to make ends meet, I would take what I gained from arresting people, fence it to try and pay for my own debt, to get me out of it as fast as I could. Before anybody could catch on, or anyone noticed, I'd amassed enough to at least travel home, try to reason with them. It went nowhere. I wasted my time and my energy. So I went home to Canada for a little while. Around the time when I always said, I just went home to get high. No, I went home to hide, not get high. I didn't want to be found. But this place called me back. Something about this horrible, wretched place called to me. I came here. And I hoped that as I ascended in rank, cultivated friendships around me from all walks, that this would be enough to deter my past from coming back up.
I think that makes it all the more likely for you.
Yeah. But for they're not considering one thing. I'm not afraid to fight them. They don't scare me. But
What
I'm
does
sure they
scare you?
understand the one thing I'm sure they're counting on. I'm afraid to lose the people closest to.
Too.
I won't let it happen. We've already lost one that was closest to us. And we lost a couple more.
Just want to know that John's safe. I don't care what happens to me as long as he's safe. Can you do me a favor?
Anything.
I'm asking a lot here.
What's that?
If there ever comes a time where you have to pick between me or John to save, fucking save him. Please.
Got it. Yep, you got it.
Thank you.
Same goes for Juniper,
I know.
Okay. Get out of here before she jumps out of this casket and kicks our asses. Because she'd be like, all right, enough boo-hooing, you assholes.
Yeah, you're right.
You have a world to save. Get at it.
Probably roll her eyes and smack
Probably.
us on the head and tell us to get back out there.
Not before giving us the biggest goddamn hug of our lives.
Yeah, that's true. I just hope I can live up to her legacy.
Me too. You get to drive in my new car.
Yeah, if you're okay with
Yeah.
that.
You want to drive it? You'll love it.
Sure. What is it?
You'll see.